Greetings everybody, I'm Chance. Thank you for checking us out here at Chance Kate's Tutorials. I'm an accountant by trade, work for the federal government. I do stocks and budget as a hobby, and so I wanted to start up a channel, start talking about these things to both increase my understanding as well as to share this knowledge with you. I'm hoping that you will benefit because you will gain experience that I have, as well as be able to take advantage of options that are on the market. The channel will focus on personal finance, that is individual brokerage accounts where you are trading your own stocks. Credit scores, budget spending, and maybe even small business applications, the tax IDs, stuff like that. Anything that I can get into that might help you as a new user or business. I've got several years of experience as an accountant, but this will be my first experience teaching finance. I'm a novice, and thus if you take any of the information I have, please understand that I'm not a licensed professional, and if you wish for true financial support, please go find a licensed professional in your area. If you just want to look at the information, see what you agree with, comment down below, and we'll have a conversation, and hopefully everybody gets to grow their wallets and their knowledge by the conversation. I look forward to talking with you all, and let's get right on into it. So the first thing to talk about is I'm using the app Robinhood. Robinhood is a brokerage account that is free to sign up. They give you, or they gave me, one free share when I signed up, and they ask for your social security number because stock profits are taxable. The benefits of having a stock account like this is you get to place the trade yourself. It's free to trade and free to open. The benefit is you have a low startup cost to try your hand at investing. The drawback is there is more risk in the stock market, so if you make bad decisions, you could lose your money. I'm going to try to teach you how to review the stocks and decide what's a good one to use, what's a bad one to look at, and maybe just by looking at the same information, we can come to the same conclusions. So the first thing I want to talk about here is the stock purchase method. There are multiple methods of buying a stock. So I'm going to go into the SunPower, and I can buy stock, but I can use this menu list to select an order type. Me, I prefer limit orders. Limit orders lets me set the price and the number of shares I wish to buy and when. So I can make the order good for one day, or I can make it good until canceled here on the Robinhood app. So for example, with SunPower, if I wanted to pay $7 a share for 10 shares, that would cost me $70. but it will not place the order until the stock price drops to the $7 share line, which is good because I don't want to spend more than that. It allows me to control how much is invested. And then the same is true for selling. So if I want to sell, I again use a limit sell. And I would say, okay, I want to sell if they're $7.25 per share. See, right there, it would be $2.50 in gains. And then it would not sell until the stock price reached $7.25. So that's one way to run the brokerage on this account, is to use the limit method of buying and selling. Again, there's no guarantee that the stock reaches the line that you set. Under that idea, I suggest looking at it good for day only. Yes, you could place an order and make the price really high or really low, and it'll be automatic that way. But then you don't know when it's going to happen or if it'll reach it. Whereas if you go in every day to review and reinstall your orders, then you can make advantage of that method. The next thing to talk about is there's details about the company here on the page, the various collections that could be considered similar to groupings or hashtags for the stock. So most popular stocks under $25, most popular 100, energy, manufacturing, etc. This earnings statement, I don't know where they got these figures from. I have to do more research, and I'll share that with you once I have the answer. And that is a brief snapshot of the Robinhood. There is a more detailed graph where you can expand it and look at the candlesticks, but I'll go into that another day. The other thing I want to talk about today is the other two apps that I suggest being on your quick list. So the one is finance.yahoo.com. This app or program is free to use. You do have a paid version which gives you extra features, but for us as a starting investing, we don't need the extra information. So SunPower here lets me search for the same stock I was just looking at on Robinhood. The first thing I like, besides the extra information, is it gives you news feeds for interesting stories that are related to the stock in question. It might be the stock picker's name's favorites, another solar company, green or clean assets, green energy, and so those could affect the price of the stock. So they're interesting, and I'm glad they're here as a group. Another piece that's here available is the date ranges. So what was the price in the morning, or correction, the low and the high, and then for the year, the low and the high. That gives you a good idea of where the stock has been for the year and where you're buying it at. If you're buying it and it's really close to the high, then the company's going to have to do something very large to make up the difference and bring your investment even greater. They very well could, but that's something to think about when you're making your purchase. There's additional statistics here. You can look at the chart as well, and it's a more interactive chart. The statistics data is nice because it gives you various things, 200-day moving average, dividend yields. SunPower hasn't been giving a dividend yet, and that's a lot of what it's for, the extra information. And it's a nice site, free to use, and it can give you a lot of information. We will be making future videos to go into greater detail about this information. Then the second site that I wish to share with you is SEC.gov EDGAR. SEC-EDGAR. This is the Securities Exchange Commission US.gov site, and all publicly traded companies have to file here. Well, all US publicly traded companies. I'm not sure about foreign countries. So let's look up our SunPower again. And the two forms to talk about here first, because there's a lot of records that get uploaded, but it's the 10Q and the 10K. The 10Q is a quarterly financial statements, and the 10K is the annual financial statements. And they're good to help us kind of see where the company's at on the reports to the government. It's pretty good to be able to read this. It's not absolutely necessary to make an investment, but I feel more comfortable knowing how to read these, and so in future videos I will be sharing with you how these forms are structured and what the value of the categories are. There's actual formulas that go in, and you can divide the total assets or current assets and current liabilities and figure out a lot more information readily, but we'll go into that in the future. This site is helpful because they upload balance sheet, statement of operations, which would be the equivalent of the income statement, statement of cash flows. The statement of cash flows will usually report dividends if there's a disbursement in dividends, and it just helps me be more confident in the company when I'm about to make an investment. So that about covers the introduction. I will be making more videos going into greater detail about the stocks themselves and sharing with you how to read stocks and get a better handle on what is going on with a particular company when we go into it. If you have any questions, please leave them in a comment below. I'm going to do my best to answer all questions. It's a new channel, so I should have more than enough time right now. When the volume hopefully gets greater, we'll see how that goes in the future. And then if you would please like, share, and subscribe it if you liked this content. So by liking it, you tell me and YouTube that this content is wanted and to make more. By sharing it, you help other people find this content and help us share, grow as a channel, and that helps me make more content for you. And then by subscribing, it lets you know when I upload a new video with more information for us to work from. It's great having you watch the video, and if you watched it to the end, I'm going to put a link in the below for the Robinhood app. Please check it out and have a great day.